Oh, hello there. Yes, well, hopefully it's very, very close to that time of the week when I don't have to care or indeed do anything. Rather foolishly, I've taken on lots and lots to do at this stage of the year, which isn't realistically very good for me. I want to join those people that end up doing nothing for a living. Yes, those grifters. Those are the people I want to join. And we had a choice example of such things yesterday. One of my favourites, Rafe Hadel Mancu. I can't remember who it was. Somebody yesterday said about the right and about they used to believe that facts don't care about your feelings, and they've kind of given up on that because it is certainly a truism that facts tend to be left wing. So they've left all that behind, and now they just lie about things. It's just a narrative, and that's all that really matters. And Rafe came out with this. This poor man was murdered in Knightsbridge yesterday whilst I was dining just 2 streets away. Oh dear God. Now, you're thinking to yourself, well, that's a picture of Sadiq Khan. No, he hasn't been murdered, even though crime is appallingly bad. We'll come back to that in London. Last week, another man, another one too, was murdered down the road from me in the Damac Tower by the US Embassy. Yes, he doesn't say if he was dining or not. Dining? London has fallen. Nowhere is safe, says our Rafe. Not safe, Rafe. Oh dear, yes. Except a cursory glance at the homicide statistics for London over just any reasonable time period will tell you that the murder rate is pretty static. It has been for about the last, 30 years. It goes up, it goes down, but it doesn't realistically change much. And in many ways, the homicides per 100,000 during the 1990s was higher than now. So I don't know what's changed. Well, obviously one thing has changed. The picture of the bloke whose dad was a bus driver has changed. So therefore we can say what a bad man he is, even though there's no particular evidence that he is a bad man after all. He keeps on being re-elected. Boo hiss! I imagine that all of them people that are just like him, fiddle the ballot. And anywhere there's too many of them, anywhere they shouldn't be allowed to vote. Yes, it's another one of those, isn't it? Still, never mind, that's the meta-narrative. London isn't safe. It's too dangerous. Ooh, don't go there. I don't know. I just find this stuff really farcical. Rafe is apparently a historian. Ooh, so he should be used to the concept of factual basis of things, and yet there's none. There's none of it. If anything, the murder rate, and certainly in terms of violence, and certainly to a certain extent, depending on when you look at the figures, the knife crime rate in London was higher under Boris Johnson. But being a good Christian man that he definitely isn't, that doesn't count. Just about the meta-narrative, yes. Which is, of course, as I keep pointing out, is Rafe's bread and butter. That's what he does for a living, yeah? He's an agent provocateur, if I can sort of bring in fairly risque and albeit expensive underwear to the whole thing. It's exactly what he does. He gets paid for this stuff by forces unknown. Nice work if you can get it. And speaking of which, I must just mention the whole furore there is about Greg Wallace and his autism. Leaving aside the autism thing, because various people yesterday were sort of going on about, he doesn't wear underwear, isn't that farcical? And he's blamed it on his autism. No, it's really, really common. If you see somebody in really, really cold weather out wearing shorts and they're not a postie and they're a bloke, it'll be someone with autism. It's really common. I can spot people a mile away with autism from the years that I've done it, and it's the biggest giveaway that there is. But leaving that aside, Greg Wallace has decided to use his diagnosis as some reason why he's just a bit of a git. But of course, people aren't gits because they have autism. They're gits and they have autism. That's the way it works. Meet some really nice people with autism, meet some horrible people with autism, meet some really nice London mayors, meet some really horrible London mayors. That's the way it works. It's not to do with any particular characteristic they might have. It's to do with their innate characteristic. And in terms of autism, it's likely to be accentuated by that autism. So if you're a bit of a git with autism, you're likely to be a lot more of a git than you would be otherwise. them's the shakes, I'm afraid. But he's a fine example of somebody who has no real discernible talent, and yet has managed to raise himself a very, very high level, and therefore is in a position to basically exert a lot of nasty control to the people around him. We need to not live in that sort of society whereby he and other people that do similar things just aren't allowed to exist. Still, that's them shakes, isn't it? I could try linking him to the nefarious ideas of people like Rafe Hadel-Mancoux, but that would just be me being a bitch, so I'm not going to. Anyway, do have a glorious day. Do stay cool if you can do. Yeah, weekend and then, summer holes. Please send me evenings and weekends. Do enjoy.